Have you ever felt like everything is falling to like your entire reality is crumbling around you? Here's a secret. That usually means you're exactly where you're meant to be. It means you've outgrown your current reality and things are about to change for the better. If you've been feeling a little stuck, uninspired, or just ready for a shift in your life, then you're in the right place. Sit down, relax, and get ready, because this is the journey of how I finally stopped giving a and how somehow, some way, magically from there, everything else started to fall into place. Let's start at the beginning. Crisis. Well, it's what feels like a crisis. I was going through the motions, working through my day-to-day, doing what I normally do. But inside, something felt off, like I was living someone else's life or constantly waiting for something to change without actively feeling like I could or had the power to change anything substantially myself. I felt stuck in a loop. I just gave birth. Nothing was quite aligning with the dreams I closely held onto. To make it even harder, I felt profoundly judged by everyone, as if my struggles were on display. I definitely felt like I was at the end of a chapter, but I could not see the starting point of where the next one would begin. Doubts crept in slowly like shadows, whispering to me anxieties about my future, my purpose, and even my ability to find true happiness again. It's safe to say that it was one of those prolonged periods where you question literally everything. And you feel like everything is going wrong that could, leaving you feeling genuinely lost and just overall uninspired. It was uncomfortable to say the least. But now looking back, I really needed to learn once again that the only thing that really matters, I found 2 coconuts, is my own perception of me and my life, not what everyone else thinks or projects onto me. I could no longer search for that affirmation outside of myself to move forward, even if it looked like it wasn't here yet. I had to look within and trust what I felt, even if it wasn't perfect on the outside. On to chapter 2, a mere sibling to the chaos that I was already moving through. I call this chapter, What the is really going on? This was the stage where I knew I needed change, so I started trying to shake things up. But honestly, it still felt like for every tiny step forward, there were 2 steps back. Things were completely falling apart. Nothing was working out no matter how hard I tried to fix it. I started to blame myself and feel like everything wrong was my fault. It felt impossible to feel okay. There were definite feelings of, is this even gonna work? And a lot of, am I making the right choices? And even more of, am I literally losing my mind? That little voice of doubt was starting to more and more become a violent scream. I was in this weird limbo, wanting change so badly, but still holding on to and feeling stuck in the old, with absolutely nothing in sight, at least from how I was viewing things, of guidance for which way to go next. And then something started to shift, slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, like the rays of dawn breaking through a long night. Chapter 3, Things Do Get Better. Those little glimmers of light started to appear in my life. Taking my first few dance classes in years, which felt so intimidating at first, started to feel empowering, as if each movement in each class whispered subtly, just take one step, just keep moving. It was like the universe was gently but surely throwing me these tiny lifelines, and it went beyond those classes. Even when things felt most difficult, there was still beauty, still progress, and still hope. This is where the weirdest synchronicities and happenings truly began. It was almost as if I would have a fleeting thought while driving, look up, and there it was. That exact thought, word or phrase staring back at me from a billboard, street art, or a street sign. The omens and signs from the universe started to peek through the cracks, not just as random occurrences, but as direct affirmations. This synchronicity and magic reminded me that it is true what they say. It's all about your perspective. When you change the way that you view things, letting even the chaotic and messy be for your good and your highest benefit, believing that all things, no matter how it may look on the outside, things are always happening and working for you. The more that I surrendered to the change and consciously stepped into the unknown, the more in alignment I felt with the guidance and even just the sheer presence of the universe, God, my angels, ancestors, whatever you like to call it. I started to feel magnetic and powerful, even though I didn't yet have all of the answers. I just knew that something better was coming, and that is why I had to accept the change. I saw it in these tiny and sometimes big intuitive signs. I learned to trust my intuition and my gut every day and every second as much as I possibly could. I only did what I deeply felt called to, whether that was something small like taking a walk or something larger like trying out something new. And then, bam, it hit me.
And my head hit the wall. Boom.
Chapter 4. What the Positive. It was like a switch flipped within me. Everything felt lighter, brighter, and more vibrant. Embracing the unexpected didn't just open doors. It flung them wide open to so much joy and so many positive new experiences. I couldn't have foreseen that the unexpected change I couldn't control was allowing me to shed my old identity and free myself of past limitations. It was creating within me a space for new possibilities and forcing me to step outside of my comfort zone in the most unfamiliar and yet freeing ways. I started to feel this incredible sense of living in flow, trusting that anything can happen when you just allow it to. The fear of change started to melt away, replaced by an exciting curiosity about what amazing things would or could happen next. And the best part, drumroll, this chapter is still very much ongoing. Magical things have continued to happen, showing up for me in unexpected ways. And personally, I cannot wait to see what is next. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final chapter. Chapter 5. If I made it, you can too. Somewhere along this wild journey, I stopped fighting. I stopped trying to control every outcome, every tiny detail. I realized that the hardest part of my journey wasn't changing my circumstances, but changing myself. I started to truly embody the change and who I wanted to become in the next chapter. Stepping into the unknown, letting go of old identities, not knowing exactly what the future held. It was terrifying at times, but I didn't run from the discomfort. I sat with the fear, acknowledged it, and then took the next scary step anyway. And that's when I realized something incredibly profound. You must embody the change in who you want to be before you can see it fully. You may second guess yourself or feel delayed at times, but you have to persist if you want to see change. Don't resist and hide away just to continue remaining the same. It is time for a new chapter. It is time for the sun. It is finally here. All parts of yourself, one. It's almost as if the universe was waiting for me to align, to truly believe in its magic, perfect timing, ultimate knowingness, and serendipity. Because once I did, it all became so much more clear. It's already happening for you. So let it. This transformative period in my life taught me that sometimes the very best thing you can do is stop giving a about what should be and start embracing what is. I recently heard someone say on TikTok something to the extent of, when you decide that no matter what happens, you are going to believe in yourself, and your dreams even when the worst comes to the absolute worst. The universe has no choice but to respond to you accordingly and agree with you in full. It will happen. It is true. And it's also true even when is hitting the fan. The smoke will soon clear. By surrendering to the process, by facing these dark and more difficult moments, by allowing myself to evolve and become someone new, my dream reality isn't just appearing out of thin air. It has been unfolding naturally, beautifully, and effortlessly. This is the true meaning of the journey itself being the treasure. The treasure in many ways was already yours. You just had to find yourself along the way, to know just where to find it and how to look for it. And no matter what anyone else thinks of your journey, remember this: these moments are only making you stronger in your mindset, your self-perception, and your unwavering belief in yourself and your dreams.
Goodbye, store. You're amazing.
Do not take it so much as an insult or a setback, but as a powerful opportunity to be stronger, firmer, and even more clear on what you do want. Because this clarity allows you to let go of what you don't want and what you no longer have room for. You will find that all the things you once felt were deep valleys of obstacles and hardships have always been stepping stools for you on the mountainous journey towards your glory and destiny. Manifestation is real, but it's not about wishing. It's about becoming. And that starts with you, with the courage to begin, the willingness to change, the bravery to face your fears, and the freedom to be your most authentic and liberated self. It's about really trusting the universe, the signs, the synchronicities, your inner knowing, above your doubts, what other people say or think of your journey, and even above how your life may appear from the outside. Trusting your heart, what you know to be true, even if you're the only one that can see it. I just wanted to pop in before we end this video and say thank you for joining me on this incredibly personal and transformative journey. I leave you with this final word from my favorite book, The Alchemist. When you want something, all of the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Make sure you give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below if you have ever experienced a similar shift in your life where it felt like a tower moment, where like everything was falling apart, of a really cool omen or sign that you've gotten in a time period like this that reminded you why you do what you do. Make sure you share that below. This is Charlene signing off with Awakened. Love you guys. Bye.